Hi everybody, Todd Nauck back with part two of this Nightcrawler piece that I've been working on. Now it's time for the pen and ink work. And I like to use the Pigma Micron multi-liner markers. This starting off with the 08, like I often do, for the thicker contours. And I'll come in with the smaller tips, like a 01 and a 005 for the smaller details. And I'm using the Canson recycled Bristol board. That's the type of art stock that I'm drawing on. Uh, Pretty much the inks are going to be just pretty straightforward. I penciled pretty tightly, so when it comes to the inks, it's really makes it pretty easy to figure out where those lines need to go. And the thing I'll keep in mind is the line weight, how thick and thin to make the lines to keep Nightcrawler popping on the page, to make sure the things that need to be more bold have a thicker line, and then the smaller details, like here in the mouth, I've switched to probably a 005 marker, get the nice tight treatment. Oh, and it turns out I'm using a Pentel pocket brush pen here for the hair. So as you've seen me use in previous videos, come in with the brush pen to create some really nice shapes with the brush tip, and then I used the Pigma Micron marker to add some extra thinner swipes of hair there amidst the darker black areas. So I'm coming in here and putting the lines in the shoulder pieces here, keeping it a little thicker on the outside and a little thinner on the inside. Kind of creates that sense of depth that I'm hoping for. When inking a character like Nightcrawler here, as you can see, as I mentioned in the video, the pencil video, that majority of his costume is all black. So a lot of the all those muscle lines on the inside of the muscles in the arms, the chest, the legs, that's all going to get covered up with the black ink. But because I've taken the time to draw in where those muscles are, I can trust that it'll have the right shape when it's all filled, when those spots are all filled in black. So it's not just wobbly blobs of random musculature, but it's as comic book accurate as it can be. So that's something to keep in mind. And you'll notice it more once I start to fill in those black spots. It'll still have the mass and shape of the arms, the legs that would be desired, even though we don't get to see all those inner working details. Because I put them in, I've done my due diligence to keep those muscles looking as full and with the proper amount or sense of mass as they need to be. Coming in here with the gloves, drawing those upper arm guard sections. I like to put a thicker detail line in between the top part and the bottom part. The top part is red, the bottom part is white, and I think a nice black border can look cool. It gives a little more weight, in my opinion. Using the 01 or the 005, it's hard to remember which one, but they're both very tight for the details, for the smaller cross hatching there along the muscles, into the red section and on the hands as well. Building up the leg muscles here and the lines, for when I come in to put those black areas in with the brush. And as I mentioned in the first video, I'll mention it here again. I was doing this piece in practice for the new Nightcrawler series I'll be drawing for Marvel Comics. The first issue comes out this April, and it's a book that I'm really excited about. So I chose to do this 3-part series just prior to the book's release, because I wanted to get a chance to hype the book and encourage you all to check it out. If you enjoy my art here on these videos, hopefully you'll enjoy reading it every month in the Nightcrawler series. Like I said, first issue is on sale April 9th. Coming in with the fine detail for those toes and knuckles. Toe knuckles, yes. Nightcrawler actually has toe knuckles. That's what I call them. I don't know if there's a proper word for that, but it was the easiest terminology that I could think of to use to to cover that section of his feet, because they are a lot of definition in those uniquely shaped feet with the two toes in the front and that third toe in the back, like we mentioned in the first video. And all the while, starting from the head, moving all the way down to the feet, I'm always keeping in mind my line weights. Ideally, I'm using the 0.8 for the thicker contours. I want similar contours, and since this is a straight-on shot, similar contours or line weights from the top of the figure, same as on the bottom of the figure. A little heavier on the bottom sides of things, like the feet or the calves. Smaller details on the inside. Using my French curve here for the tail, so that I get a nice clean swipe of the line for the main arc of the tail, freehanding kind of the curve there, coming back behind his calf, putting in those little tiny detail lines coming out of the black areas, and all the while still keeping in mind the line weights, using a different part of the curve of the French curve to get me through that next long swipe, and then freehanding the curve around towards the tip of the tail. So I utilize the French curve where I feel it's necessary, that if I want to make sure I have as straight of line as possible, straight smooth line. It's essentially a curved ruler, so do treat yourself to a French curve. They come in a 3-pack, and of all different, and so they curve in different ways that you can utilize different arcs for whatever it is your needs might be, and that usually works for most any arc that you're looking to do. A few little extra detail lines in the knuckles here, just keeping them small, keeping them thin and tight, so they don't overpower the main contour lines on the outside of Nightcrawler's figure there. So you want to keep those little tiny detail lines smaller, and it won't get too muddied and clumpy. Now, I just went with a Strathmore plastic eraser there and erased the entire thing. As you can see, I did that before spotting the blacks, because we don't want the micron inks to pull up off of the board. It's something that we've discussed here in the comments section on a number of videos, is that a lot of you young artists are finding that when you erase, you've spent hours inking, and then when you erase, all the ink work fades. So I do fairly light erasing. I'm able to get just enough of that pencil line off without getting too much fading in my initial line work. Then I come in and I fill in all the black areas. No sense in me filling in all the black areas and then erasing and having that whole big chunk of black area gets faded out, and then having to apply the black ink over that faded black ink area. That's just a waste of time and a waste of ink. So lesson learned. My preferred method is to ink those initial pencil lines, then erase, then go in and spot the big black areas with my brush and ink. So it just makes it easier. Let's see, the Nightcrawler's costume, like I had said, is a heavy black shape, so it's really about his silhouette. So we lose all those little inner workings of the muscles on the inside there, but because I've done that detail work, I know that the shapes are gonna come together right, and he's gonna look as believable as possible. And did a few little extra details here, but didn't realize I had slid the board out of camera range, so I apologize for that. Here's a final scan of the Nightcrawler inks. Thanks for tuning in, and we got the Copic Color video coming up real soon, in the next week or two. So stay tuned for that, and see y'all soon.